On this podcast, you'll find interviews with high-performing, successful individuals in life sciences. On a weekly basis, we cover their proven methods, principles, strategies, and mindsets to implement new technologies that scale to meet the needs of people in our world.
Welcome to this episode of Life Science Success. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Don, and I am a digital marketer. And before we get to today's guest, let me just play a quick message from our sponsor. And it's not playing that way, so let me try one quick technical difficulty. Here we go.
This episode of Life Science Success is brought to you by D3 Digital Media Marketing. Dive into the digital world with confidence and creativity on your side. D3 Digital Media Marketing is your all-in-one solution for making a lasting impact online. From the vibrant, engaging world of social media marketing, podcasts, and webinars, to the strategic depths of website development, SEO, pay-per-click, email, and content marketing, we tailor our approach to fit your unique brand story. Let's elevate your presence, connect with your audience, and drive success together. Your digital journey starts here. Visit d3digitalmedia.com to learn more.
And so in this episode of Life Science Success, we're excited to welcome Ayla Annac. She's the award-winning CEO and president of InvivoSciences. Ayla co-founded InvivoSciences, a pioneering biotech company focused on developing therapies for cardiovascular and cardiometabolic diseases using innovative precision medicine technology. So with that, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Don. I appreciate the opportunity, and I'm very humbled for the entry message that you gave, but I am happy to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, it's great. And I mean, you've been passionate about this for a long time. And I think some of your personal story, very much will pull on the sort of the thinking behind sort of what brought you where you are today. So would you mind just telling the audience a little bit about yourself, and then, what did start InvivoSciences?
Absolutely. I am the co-founder of InvivoSciences with other two co-founders, Dr. Tetsuro Wakatsuki and Dr. Elliot Alson. And we are developing precision medicine for cardiometabolic diseases and heart failure using a proprietary and innovative technology platform we call Cordia to discover drugs and also to identify subpopulation segments that match the drug that we are at the development. We are not only helping our own drug pipeline, but we are also enabling access to pharmaceutical companies to our platform so they can we can help their own internal drug programs, or any biotech company who is having the mission to help enable cardiovascular drug development or heart failure drug development. And you ask another question, why I started to this mission, because I call it a mission. The journey happened with the loss of my own father when he was age 53 years old in Istanbul, Turkey. And it was a devastating occasion. I believe that if you have a loss of a family member, especially a father figure when you're very young, men and women, it doesn't matter, it will be an effect on you. And we wanted to, with my team, is Dr. Wakatsuki as a scientific co-founder and Dr. Elliot Alson, the other scientific co-founder, we wanted to find a solution for this critical unmet need still, because it is still cardiovascular disease's #1 killer. And it is in the rise, and the last almost 30 years, it increased 60% according to the World Health Report. So that means we don't have enough innovation and we don't have enough investment into the cardiac drug development, and we are not utilizing precision medicine approach. So this is why we are still pushing forward and trying to find others join the mission and to come up with innovative drugs for the patients that has been waiting for these drugs very long time, effective and safe ones.
It's so important and I feel like so personal at the same time. Um, the my own father his life was sustained because of people that are innovating in this space, because he was in heart failure for a number of years, and the only thing that extended his life was the fact that there were drugs currently out on the market that could help him as well. And so and I mean, otherwise I have a feeling we would have lost him a lot sooner, unfortunately. But I could only imagine your father passing away at 51 of all things. That's I mean, just this is probably the youngest that I've heard of somebody dying of heart disease. And I'm sure somebody that's listening or watching could say, well, wait a minute, I know somebody that was 48 or whatever. But I mean, these are amazing numbers to me, because I still sort of look at those ages as very young. There's a lot more life that the individual needs to live.
It is, and it is getting younger. That is another concern, that everybody needs to look into statistics for recent heart failures or cardiac arrest death results. One more addition to that, we need to also look into the disability, because even you do not maybe die, God forbid, that you have a disability. If you're a provider, a man or woman in your family, once you have a heart failure, your half of your face might drop, and you may no longer be able to work. And that is at a certain young age, you are a disability. It is very big burden to your family, to yourself, and you cannot contribute to the communities, to your government, to your nation. And this needs to be looked at carefully, so that funding for this drug development needs to be much more exciting, I think, for the investors.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, certainly, there are plenty of diseases that we have to sort of deal with, throughout the human condition. However, when you think about, any form of heart disease, can have a drastic impact, as you said, on the individual. I certainly like outdoor activities and doing different things, and I could only imagine, having to limit certain activities then after an event happened as well.
Yes, and we are hoping that our technology, that we are actually funded by NIH originally, that will bring a new drugs, innovative drugs, as well as will match, if you have a drug program, either our own drug program currently for heart failure preserved ejection fraction, that's our lead program, or for others who access our platform can identify a variety of drugs and also subpopulations, because as I mentioned, we need to look into the heart failure drugs and cardiometabolic diseases for a precision medicine approach. Currently, we have 5, maybe 6 drugs for all of us, and we are not same. You and I are not same. We are genetically are not same. We don't have the same lifestyle. We don't have same DNA, same bloodline. Anything, it's not similar. So, like in the cancer field, we are hoping that cardiovascular drug development will utilize precision medicine, so that innovation and also the effective drugs for the subpopulations can be developed fast and effectively.
Well, so whenever you look at your journey as the CEO and president of InvivoSciences, what's the journey been like? What has it been like up to this point? It seems to me like you've been doing this for a while.
Yes, it has been a long journey, because, as I said, the investment last 10 years into cardiac space was only 3%. So you have to find supporters to develop drugs. It's an expensive area for a drug development. We first developed a platform that enabled the discovery and also the certification and clinical trial enrichment. That takes time. Validations takes time, as we can grow human mature cardiac organoids, disease models. The validation of that, has been validated by the NIH funding that we received. And also, as I said, the investors was afraid of, I will use not afraid, but they were challenged by the failures, drug failures at the phase 3. And that is one of the reason we need to use precision medicine approach, because what is currently happening, one drug for everybody, clinical trials are being failed at a very late stage, very expensive. So investors didn't want to invest in an area that they are losing money. And now with the new technologies like ours, the game will change, but we needed to wait. So there's a waiting game. There's a, sometimes you can appreciate that innovations, future-oriented innovations, and there are times, sometimes not immediately. People need to get there. The financial sectors have to get there. Also pharmaceutical companies need to accept those technologies. The stakeholders, shareholders, this is a bigger game than only one person like me. I'm trying to lead a precision medicine. Everybody needs to come to the table. They need to understand all technologies, all players. There's a collaboration. We are not the only one. There are many other scientific, excellent brains working on this, but despite the fact there is not many drugs currently in the market that we can access to, so that's a question mark that we like to bring the awareness, saying that if we can do a much better collaborative effort, I think we are eager as a company. And as I said, some things takes time, perseverance, grit, believing in what you are providing, and determination, and never giving up. I'm an entrepreneur, so I think all entrepreneurs will understand that because they're entrepreneurs or because they're offering something, the market doesn't need to accept it. There's a huge risk. So that doesn't mean that you can get all the support out there. There are competition. They look at you, and they, rather than working with you, they want to compete against you. They want to undercut you. They want to challenge you. They say, why you? We should do this. And not that we are saying you cannot do it. We said, come and work with us. Can we work with you? Can we, improve what you have? Or maybe you can improve what we have. So we are humble. We don't want to do anything damage, but we are that kind of an entrepreneur because I lost my father. And I have a mission. I don't mind working with others, for others, but as long as we achieve the dream with the better resources, better teams, much more smarter people, but accept us because we are out there fighting the game, fighting the battle. But as I said, you need to wait for financial world's acceptance, market acceptance, timing, and sometimes, divine intervention. And
Sure.
this is a big journey. This is a hero's journey, and I don't know if I'm a hero or not, but definitely for determination, you need to be a hero to wait this long and not give up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because I've said to several entrepreneurs in the past, when you see on the other side where you wound up, you just might look back and say, boy, this definitely was the hero's journey, but you never know, right? You just sort of have to continue to iterate where you currently are and move forward. You have no other choice. But this idea of collaborating with other companies to work on things, I think is ultimately important. But it also ties me to my next question. So if I were to look at InvivoSciences, what is your overall mission for the company?
I think our overall mission, as I said, we have a Cordia technology platform that enables precision discovery of the drugs for cardiometabolic diseases and heart failure, and also provides clinical trial enrichment to identify subpopulations. And say it is AI integrated, so we can identify subpopulation to match the drug at hand or in the discovery program. And this is what we are offering the others can access to develop many drugs for the subpopulations, just like the cancer field. So the precision medicine will be enabled, and it will be next 5 years. We should be in this precision medicine development. Many companies will come. Everybody, there's enough money to make. One company, one drug will not be the solution. So I think our mission is, of course, first to be able to offer our lead drug, IVS 201, that is for preserved ejection fraction, and that is for cardiac fibrosis area for a specific subpopulation. We are working on that one drug. We are looking for co-developers, investors to take it to the next stages, and also the companies who would like to take it to the market. But we also look for companies that will come into work with us to access to the platform and develop their own internal programs. And maybe we will be happy to continue contributing with our team on that. So that is our mission. So enabling precision medicine, bringing more cardiac drugs that is effective and safe for subpopulations, not just one drug for all millions waiting, and decreasing the cost of clinical trials for cardiac. Again, I'm saying decreasing the cost of clinical trials by enabling small 8 to 10 smaller subgroups for the drugs that at hand, and to be able to make the increasing effectiveness of the approval rate in the FDA. That is a big mission. So that investors can try more, they invest more, and they will see success rates are going up. And I think one successful company in the recent past by Myocardia, and they were bought by Bristol Myers, and they had a small population that has matched the clinical statistic significance of endpoints, and they opened the perspective of the financial world. Oh, I think this can be done in the financial, in the heart area. So I think companies like us now will be much more accepted. So this is our mission. But my personal mission is, even I am an enabler, even my voice reached to others, even I make people compete against or, undercut us, infringe us, whatever they are doing, without including us. I am happy that there is a work behind the heart failure, because it is number one, and 51% of this population is female right now. We would love to see in the next 5 to 10 years companies coming with the effective and safe solutions. So people like my father, or mothers, or brothers, or children are not dead very early, suddenly, unexpectedly, unprepared. And you can have lots of contribution as a soul in this world and enjoy your life with your family and loved ones. And interruption like that, I don't think that my father was expecting to die. And so he had plans, he had dreams. I think I can also remind people in this podcast, if you have dreams for your life, if you have things that you have never tried, I'll encourage, if you people that you didn't hug, which I have, my brother never, received a hug last, buys, we didn't see that. I encourage people to do so, because these are important. You can only understand the importance when that happened to you. Before, you have no idea what it means and how it feels. So I think that is the mission. And all entrepreneurs others than me out there, if you don't try big challenging subjects like this, if you don't collaborate, team up, so many unmet needs will never come and find a solution. So somebody have to do it. Somebody has to lead it. Despite the difficulties, despite the challenges, despite the people not believing, not helping, you believe in it, and somebody have to have the vision. And people like yourself, Dan, making these things available, the voice to be reached, is very important. Digital media, internet is changing the game, changing the roles, and bringing more people collaborate, and things will be different in the future, I think. So maybe I achieve 5% of my mission in my fight. It's a good thing, but I am still smiling. So
Right.
that is what I take.
So if we took a deeper look at Concordia and New Heart. And how is it that they deliver on the mission in terms of precision medicine? What are the specific things that they do to help people that need precision medicine?
Of course, first of all, I will take the Concordia. Why Concordia? Because it integrates two different technologies. Number one is iPSC drive or patient drive, the cardiac tissue, which is we call it 3D organoids, and these are human mature. I will underline it: mature human patient-specific cardiac disease models, and they are integrated in the platform in a high throughput screening and automation. So we can do screening of molecules to identify either first in class compounds or repurposed compounds. And the second aspect of it, AI integration, and this is AI assisted clinical trial enrichment diagnostics, and increase the efficiency of clinical trials cost effectively by improving the statistical significance with fewer patients. And how we do that, that means you can take the drug and match the subpopulation through the platform. And this has not been really utilized, or this approach has not been implemented well in the cardiac area. And our platform, one platform can do that from the disease model development from the specific target patient that you are going after. We can develop that. And also we can identify that matching drug or the effectiveness of the drug, that drug to those populations, or bring the population to clinical trial, will benefit the most. And this could be also very useful for orphan drug designations in the beginning, and you can expand the population later on. The one other part is that I want to mention important in the heart area. For example, we are very aware that there is a monogenic heart failure, which is 8% of the population in the cardiac disease. And we developed, to respond to that, we developed a monogenic human mature cardiac model. We call it New Heart. And we are able to do mass production of these 3D organoids. And automation is there. So we are not just playing with one cells or one tissue, screening on that. It is a fully automated system, and with instrumentation integration. This has been done with the platform part. And now we have our first lead drug program for heart failure preserved ejection fraction. Drug development is very, very expensive. So you can come with pipelines, but you need support to develop more pipelines, or you need to integrate your system to other groups who can benefit from this platform and maybe support the other drug developments and much more effectively. So we are doing our own small, part here. In the Concordia, one thing also is interesting. The platform integrates analysis of cardiovascular system parameters collected from heart failure patients, and to categorize heart failure preserved ejection fraction patients into 8 to 10 small distinct phenotypes. And this platform, this is the AI other side of the platform, can identify this. It's like a facial recognition technology, and so you can identify subgroups that match with the drug at hand. In this case, our drug is reversing the cardiac fibrosis on a specific subsection of the population. So we need to find a specific subsection of the population to be able to help them. And our platform is able to do that, not only for our current drug, but we can do it for others as well, with the support, with the right teams, including into the team, or we are being included to others. As I said, this is a NIH supported originally, this platform development. We appreciate and grateful for their taking the initiation of understanding the importance of future precision medicine development in cardiac field and supporting it. And it's a competitive patent position we have globally. And so I think it is open to global partners as well.
Wow. In terms of the journey that you've taken, I would imagine that you've run into several different challenges. Can you describe some of the challenges that you've had, and then how have you sort of resolved those in terms of bringing the innovations that you have at InvivoSciences to light?
I think some of them are scientific challenges which needs to be validation, and I am not the scientist, so my scientific partners, my board, cardiac doctors that in the board, they help us to to tackle those challenges. NIH teams, they help us to underline the consultants. So there's a bigger team than my face only, but the other part is that there were naysayers. They were people that didn't want to make it happen. There were people that said, why you? We should do it. We have more money. I like the idea. But the important part, sometimes you need that passion. I had the passion. I wanted to help it, not just because a certain group, certain people. I could have helped anyone if they were making that happen and then call me, say, you need to help because you lost your father. You know what it means. Can you help lead this one? And that is why I came from a different spiritual understanding and heart space. I didn't really care that they are naysaying. They are saying you cannot do it. You're a woman. You are immigrant. You are this or that. That's okay. I'm a human and I have a big heart and I have a determination and I have good expertise in the area and I have a schooling too to do this job. But as I said, you need a team. So nobody can achieve anything like this alone. There were so many people in the board that we are lucky that they extended a helping hand, advice. Sometimes they helped me to not to go deeper in problematic areas. My patience, sometimes I have to ignore others and just have no ego. And it says, okay, if you want to do better, good, just make it. Maybe you can include me, I'll work for you. I don't care. But as long as we bring a drug into the market and a working drug, maybe if we are competing for that, let's collaborate to compete. I mean, that is also a better thing. It is very expensive to make a drug. You don't want to compete for the sake of competing. This is a serious matter. So I think, yes, disbelievers, but if I can inspire 1% of the population out there, still, despite personal and professional challenges I face, funding that I didn't get, support that I didn't get, and I have to do bootstrapping, cash flowing, investing my own dollars, my energy, sometimes going without pay, and that kind of things. It's not easy to accept, and your family also have to support you. So I think in the heavens, my father, my immediate family, the community that help, and all the people who help, including yourself, like the Bullpen Group, I will recommend them. Anyone who doesn't know their name, Paula Norstam, I think there are many groups that is really making these things happen or trying new approaches. And I can also name, my individual board members like Dr. Josef Schlesinger. I think if he didn't believe me that I could make it, he's from Yale originally, I wouldn't start it because he's very, very well acknowledged in drug development. He said, you can do it, you can lead. And he knew what I can do. And he stayed with us since the inception. And since 2001, this is a long years. And my partners, Dr. Elliot Alson and Dr. Wakasuki, they were troopers, they are fighters. They didn't give up. They know it will take time. So I think you need people like that. If we were looking for a quick money and a loss of money making next year, we will be done by then and we will give up. But this was a different way of working. But of course, serious work, lots of work. And am I going to do that again if I come to this earth? I don't know. I have to breathe again because
Yeah.
this
Tell your
was
dad to be
difficult.
careful before he gets to 51 and then
Yeah,
yeah, right.
it
Yeah.
is difficult, but I am sure anybody who lost a child, lost a loved one, there are more people like me out there. They never give up till they see something will come. There are fighters out there.
Hmm.
So they will know what I mean or what I talk. But yes, both supporters and significant amount of challenges we face and still does, but I'm optimist.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was I personally was very fortunate. I mean, I tell people all the time that my mother died of ovarian cancer whenever I was 10. And I look at that as an advantage because it's one of the things that put me in this field. I sort of, fell in love with science and life science, especially because of the fact that we have a way, now to prevent, a lot of these cancers from happening. And so the further that we chase after this, the better chance that we have of finding a cure. I'm not the right person to be the scientist. I am very passionate about a lot of the work that I do as well, and helping you guys get your message out. And so I feel like, in a way, being a child of somebody who loses somebody, it's a good way for life to sort of set you up for, just fighting your entire life and finding your way, figuring out how things work and what's the best pathway forward for you. And so it's good that you have great partners as well. I think that that's one of the probably most significant traits that I hear in all of the CEOs that I interview. One of the things that I hear over and over again is that I really rely on my team to help, bring this thing to light, and you said that in everything that you just said, that, you really rely on the scientists that are directly there, but also in those that support the board as well. And I think that's critically important. So
And there are bigger teams than that. We have the people who helped long years, but funding is always the problem because
yeah.
if you don't get the funding over time, sometimes you lose your valuable team members, and it is very disheartening. But it is why funding partners to continue to have funding when the project like drug development, which takes more funding than platform development, comes into the challenge. Our job never ends, and we realize the teams change, things change, organization change. So we are ready, but I'm thankful for everybody who even help, maybe just saying you can do it, or somebody work on the project, even an intern, doesn't matter. We are appreciative of that individuals or souls. I call them souls because I am very
Yeah.
sorry for your loss of your mom at a young age, but we had team members with the similar losses. So I think, and they were scientists, and that is why we need many individuals that is with a similar missions work on this project with passionate and humble approach, because nobody will win the entire world. This takes collaboration, humbleness, and funding, not
Hmm.
only passions. You need expertise coming in. You need others to come in. You need sometimes powerful people to come in.
Absolutely. So before we transition to the next question, I just wanted to quickly mention as well, since you mentioned the bullpen. So for anybody that wants to find out more about the bullpen, you can go to bullpen.ventures and find out more about the bullpen there. Secondly, the bullpen is having a pitch fest in Minneapolis, August 13th through the 15th. And so they're inviting both sponsors, people who are looking to fund projects, as well as people who want to come and present or pitch, to come out to Minneapolis for that event as well. And so a tremendous organization that I feel like is apt to help somebody, in this journey yet. And we'll see a lot of hopefully, companies come out the other side and say, hey, look, I couldn't have done it without, sort of the engagement and the partnership and the networking and things like that happen at the bullpen. So yeah, for anybody that's interested, go visit their website, look at how to be a member or be involved. So thank you for mentioning that. I do want to get to the next question about you, though. So, what's the greatest leadership advice that you've ever received?
I think the best advice I received, always question the unknown and the research more and check the details. The details are in the devil in the details, because if you think that you get arrogant, you are already always something in the details, and make sure your cash flow will cover or runaway will cover what you are going to do. Figure out that. So you have to see a couple of years ahead, not just today, 3 months. And if you don't see that, you better figure out how to get there. Those are important parts. And as I said, the other advice said to me that be humble, get people, other people who has done this better. They know that. Listen to them, listen, change, and bring them into the team early enough. So that was the other advice that I have been trying to implement, and see who will come and jump. But these are important for small companies or startups.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing those. What inspires you?
To be able to contribute and to serve society, and from my heart space, from my passion, whatever ignite my passions to humanity, that I can help, and I can be a part of the celebration at the end, with the work that we did as a team. Makes my heart happy. I think that inspires me, the true stories, the people who has been inspirational to others, their stories, they are never giving up, are inspiration to me. The people who actually do things that everybody said you will never do it, you cannot be doing it, who you are, and when they make it, that's an inspiration not only for themselves but millions of others who are in the same position, same situation. I think that inspires me, not my own, but other stories. And your own story even inspired me, that you are in the life science and you lost your own mom. I'm very sorry, but if you didn't have that, you wouldn't be doing this for others.
No,
You
I
wouldn't.
wouldn't.
You. This is not just fun things to do for everything. This is
Right.
fun when you have a mission, and you have the talent to do so. So thank you.
Yeah. I say all the time, cancer did a great job at creating a good enemy. So, that's kind of my overall view on it. What concerns you?
Concern is that the funding situations concerns me. The innovation, or true innovation, not getting funding, but wannabe innovations getting funding
Mm,
concerns me, because at the end, the patients will not be winning, because there will be something out there, but it will not be effective, and something will come out later on that people will understand that they wasted their dollars on the wrong ones. But my worry is that how can I reach the right people on time? What can I do? What can I do to be able to meet the right person, rather than thinking that wrong people meeting with the right people? I'll say what I can do. If it is me that I supposed to do this, I pray for the right way, saying that bring me the right individuals, make me discern, and let's make the deal, and then on time. So the funding. And also, second concern, if this is so difficult, people will give up doing this, trying to make that happen. So I'm going to get old one day and die. There will be young people, young generations. They have to try this. It takes a long time. You need to have people like myself, like yourself, being the soldier of is trying this new innovations to making happen, leading the teams, collaborate with global organizations. If this was so hard and everybody crying out there saying that it's not going to happen, and you kill all inspirational individuals out there trying to make that happen, so what happens, you will darken everybody. So I want to bring light, and I want to bring happiness, and I want to heal hearts. So that is why there are others like us, like me. I want them to be successful, and that makes me smile if they are successful.
absolutely. And the last question, what excites you?
I think excitement getting when you get older, very limited. Excitement is if my children are successful, it excites me. If my cat smiles me and give me a hug, it's exciting. The best excitement, of course, if you achieve the goal on your team, that long years and get funding, that will be exciting, not only for me, but all the people who are working. And meeting with individuals like yourself who are helping, meeting new people is exciting. And I think a smile on a child is exciting, positive. So because the world has so much negativity, and you have to keep, even a flower have to excite you, and music have to excite you, because then you can keep energizing internally. Your internal batteries will be full of excitement, and you can share it with others. So simpler than most people expect, but I think it's important.
Well, the one thing I was looking for as well. So since you made the music tie there, so the one thing that people may not know, watching or listening to this, is that you also have a TED Talk, and you go more in depth in terms of, sort of the personal impact, I feel like, around exactly what put you in this field, both your father and then also the fact that you stopped dancing after he passed. And so, hopefully through that music tie and through, the work that you do, eventually, my hope would be that you find yourself dancing again, that, you're happy that you had that impact as well.
I think we all need to find our inner happiness one way or another. Dancing was important and still does for me. Even in dancing at home with your friends and family members, that is still good. But it was true. A loss of somebody you really love can dishearten you, and a sudden, shocking one can do that very quickly. But how to recover from that and how to help people around you is very important, because not everybody will make that. And some people go to the wrong paths to kill their pain. And that is why I think I take dancing because your heart rhythm, you have a rhythm inside and your heart beats with a rhythm. So if you can even listen to that, play a drum, that's enough for a dancer. Tap your feet, it is enough for a dancing. So everybody can dance, even their mind, even their imagination. So it is a simple thing, and I hope to continue to dance no matter what.
Thank you for sharing that. So Ayla Annac, thank you for being on the Life Science Success podcast and for telling us all about InvivoSciences and the work that you're doing there. It sounds so important. And, please do stay in touch and tell us more about your journey as you progress.
Thank you very much for the opportunity and, including us and being your guest. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Life Science Success. For complete details about this podcast, including show notes, how to get in touch with guests, and more episodes, please visit www.lifesciencesuccess.com. If there's someone you'd like for us to invite to the show as a guest, please let me know by sending me a message at the podcast website. Please click subscribe on your favorite podcast app, share the podcast, or tell a friend about it, and last but not least, rate the podcast. Thank you again.